Hello, how is everyone doing tonight? Been watching this show, True Detective. I'm on season 3. I'd already seen season 1, season 2, but I had to peel myself off. I'm on like the penultimate episode here. It's a pretty good show, I think. Let me check and see what's happening here. Get the chat going here in just a second. People are apparently mad. I'm talking about BSV tonight. It's kind of hard to ignore. Okay. All right. Oh, I got to play. Let me play my Monarch pre-roll here for you guys. There we go. I could finally find it. What's up, Travis? What is up, Bisbewar? All right, guys. So let's talk. So tonight we are going to be talking about several different things. If you guys have any questions, you guys want to make any comments, please make sure that you do so in the chat. Tales of the Crypto, what is going on? How are you? Good to see you. Zcash, guys, keep your eyes open before the move. Okay. Why is Zcash going to move? It's a big question. Loading up for Havening ammo. Could possibly be. So tonight, we are going to be talking about a lot of different things. We are going to be talking about the markets because the markets are crazy. We've seen Bitcoin doing some things we haven't seen it do in quite a while. Yes, I have heard of Cloakcoin. I do remember they got delisted from Binance. That's about all I remember from them. But we're going to be talking BSV tonight. We're going to be talking Craig Wright. We're going to be talking about this letter or notice of compliance that he has put into the courts, which is very interesting. We're going to get into the ramifications of that. And, could Craig Wright really be Satoshi? I mean, we've all dismissed it for a long time. But if he is somehow able to get access to these Satoshi funds, will we immediately just say, hey, this guy's definitely Satoshi? And does it really matter? So we're going to be talking about that tonight. We're also going to be talking about what could be causing this Bitcoin pump today. Over the last couple of days, there's definitely a lot of stuff to suggest, some fundamental analysis reasons. And I want to talk about that. Like, is fundamental analysis really even a thing? Because a lot of your chart people over the last few weeks have been saying that fundamental analysis and news matters zero. Oh, that's not zero. Sorry, guys. They're saying it doesn't matter at all. And I got to push back on that. I mean, I think that, the charts definitely have their place, but we've definitely seen Bitcoin do unpredictable things. So we're going to be getting into that. We're going to talk about Akon tonight, the rapper. He's kind of a singer-rapper, a schrapper, if you will. He is actually building a crypto city in Africa. We're going to talk about that briefly. We're also going to be talking about, is Libra coin dead? Is Libra dead? There is some evidence to suggest that Facebook is pushing forward without Libra, which is great news for true decentralization. Maybe not the best news for crypto in the short term, though. We're also going to be taking a look at Crypto Canary, which is a site ran by one of my good friends in the crypto space, and it's a community-driven review site where you guys can go on there and review different products. There's things like Crypto.com, which we're going to look at their reviews tonight. I've got a Crypto.com link at the top of the chat, also in the video description. If you guys want a free $50, you can click that if you want to take part in what Crypto.com is doing. So we're going to be looking at that. And I really love the idea of a review site where the community is saying like, this is good, this is legit. And I'm hoping that they have some filters kind of in place to prevent bots from going on there. I think they have to have like all the users will have like maybe a score or something to make sure they're real. So it's not like Yelp where you got people going on there and just, making bad reviews of everything for the sake of doing it. So we're going to be looking at all of that tonight. Let me look at the chat here just a little bit. Let's see what Cloakcoin did today. What they did in terms of the chart. Let's look real quick. Cloakcoin. Wow. That's a whopper. 256%. Okay. Hey, could this be altcoin season? Could it be altcoin season? It could be. Probably not, but maybe it will be. Okay, let's see. Somehow always should. Maybe the Narcos. Maybe. Could be. Yeah, I definitely do not believe Craig Wright is Satoshi, but we are going to talk about the possibilities and what we might see involving his court case soon. Okay, pump and dump season, more like, yeah, it definitely could be pump and dump season. Okay, all right, so let's start by taking a look at the markets. And, Bitcoin is doing very well. It's up 7.51%. I mean, over the last, 3 or 4 days, it's up like almost 10%, I think, something like that. Let's actually pull up Coin 360 and let's check out what it has to say over the last week. And we can tell you exactly how much Bitcoin is up over the last week. Let's look. 9.56%, so almost 10%. ETH, look at that, up 20%. Bitcoin SV up 263%. I don't own any Bitcoin SV. And I'm kicking myself. Am I really? I'm not really. Then we got Bitcoin Cash coming in at 45.89%. So briefly want to touch on Bitcoin. Now, I want to talk Bitcoin SV. I want to talk about Bitcoin Cash. Definitely want to get into all that. And I want to make sure that tonight we get through all our stories. So I may not be like super, I usually try to keep up with every single comment, but tonight I want to make sure we get through the stories and then we can start, chatting, AMA, whatever it is. I might glance down from time to time. But here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing about Bitcoin and the interesting thing about fundamental analysis versus technical analysis. Okay, I'm friends with a lot of traders. I don't do a lot of trading myself. I have done some trading. I've done some leverage trading. For me personally, it's not my sole focus on crypto. I kind of do it on the side a little bit, right? I'm not a day trader. You guys know that. What's interesting is a lot of the traders that I've talked to in different groups that I'm in with serious big name traders that you guys know. And I'll let you, figure out who they are or look at their analysis, to get exactly what they're saying. But the general sentiment has been over the last week is that the price is going down, especially when we had that one initial pump. The thought was the price is going to go down. Why? Because the charts say it's going to go down. Now, we still may drop and they may be proven right. But I've seen several people talking about taking out shorts and they've gotten wrecked. I know several people that have gotten wrecked on shorts over the last week. And for me, I think this is where the rubber hits the road of the chart is not like charts are all about favorability and saying like there's a percent chance that this move is going to go this way or that way. And so traders try to capitalize on that little bit of margin that they have, no pun intended, on that little wiggle room they have to make money. It's kind of like just like in sports betting. Like if you're betting on sports, the best handicappers out there, they win only about 5 to 10% more than they lose, but they're able to monetize that 5-10% to make sure that they make a lot of money. Or at least they say they do. Whether they do or not, that's on the individual. But with Bitcoin making these interesting moves over the last week, that has gone against what a lot of the people have been saying, on the charts. Now, you have to differentiate, okay? I really want you guys to pay attention to this. You have YouTubers out there that are big YouTubers, that are TA guys. And one thing you have to understand about being a content creator on YouTube is that when we talk bullish, when we talk charts and we say, well, I don't talk a lot of charts, you guys know, but when some of these bigger YouTubers talk charts, They want it to be bullish because that means their videos are going to get more views, okay? And more views equals more ad revenue, more subscribers, which, it equals, other income that can possibly be coming in and things like that. So they want the charts to be bullish. So if there's any kind of lens they can look through and say, we are bullish right now, they're going to do that. So there's a difference between your real authentic traders that are really watching charts and watching the TA, and then some of the bigger YouTubers that are literally, and I'm not calling anybody out specifically, this isn't about throwing anybody under the bus, just trying to get you guys to understand the way this works. If there's any lens they can look through to turn something in a favorable bullish way, they're going to do it. And so when the price started pumping, some of the bigger YouTubers started saying, we're going to the moon, we're going to the moon, we're going to the moon. But they always say that. They say that every single time, right? And I know I've been guilty of saying it in the past. I certainly thought we were never going to see 9K again once we hit 14K. And then, of course, we did. But I really believe that with conviction. But so they're always trying to make it sound bullish. But your real traders understand we have been in a bear market, at least a bear trend, ever since June. It says the end of June, we have been going down. So even when YouTubers are saying, price is going to explode, we're going to the moon, blah, 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 look at this chart. Those guys have been steadfast on the price is going down, and it has been in a down channel. So are we out of that? Are we heading back up? I definitely think we've had some signs. If you look at historical perspective and look at the precedent that the last two halvenings have given us, then it makes sense that we would be going up. But at the same time, there's not as much volume. People aren't excited about Bitcoin. There's not a lot of retail stuff. I want to do a video this week probably where I show you guys, if you guys know Digital Lawrence on Twitter, he's on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. He made a video about an interview he did with CZ, or had CZ basically talk to the TikTok audience, and they destroyed him in the comments. Like, destroyed CZ, destroyed cryptocurrency. And so I think we've thought for a long time this younger generation really believes in Bitcoin and really believes in cryptocurrency. And maybe that's not true. So I don't know, where is this interest coming that suddenly is pumping up the price? And I think that, one of the stories we're going to talk about today could have something to do with it. But it definitely seems like we are just starting to take advantage of this halving pump, and we are heading on the way back up, even though the charts are still suggesting the price goes down. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and teach you guys about charts because it's not something I have a super firm grasp of myself. I like talking news, so I like to think that hopefully news does play a role in things. And we did have some big news that we'll talk about today. And you cannot tell me for the world that the BSV news we're going to look at does not have something to do with this pump right now. Whether it's manipulation, call it whatever you want, but it does affect. News does affect things. Some people say that charts are kind of self-fulfilling prophecies, where basically because certain patterns exist in charts, when a chart starts going a certain direction, then everybody jumps on that direction, right? Like if it's showing something bearish, everybody jumps, making bearish trades and things like that. But I don't think there's any question this BSV pump has to do with this news we're going to talk about here in just a second. So just a quick look at the charts, the big news of the day, which is Bitcoin Cash has now been passed by BSV, and pretty significantly, I do add. It is now up $1 billion. It's over Bitcoin Cash. It's up 126% today, and Bitcoin Cash is up 30%. So it's not like Bitcoin Cash is down. So we did have a flipping of Bitcoin SV and Bitcoin Cash, and we are going to get into that here in just 1 second. We're going to talk about Wright. Let's look at the biggest winners of the day. I'm probably in front of this. You guys probably can't even see it. But we do have Bitcoin Gold is up, Bitcoin SV, Dash, Bitcoin Diamond. A lot of forks up today. Zcoin, Blockstamp, Zcash is up 40%. Golly, guys, it does look like alt season today. It does look like altcoin season today. I've been so focused on Bitcoin Cash and BSV, I really wasn't even paying attention to the rest. But my gosh, look at some of these numbers. What's old IOST doing today? Let's see what it's doing today. IOST coming in at 65. It's up 10%. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take a 10% bump. Okay, guys. So real quick, I want to talk about Crypto Canary because this is Kevin from Bitcoin for Beginners. He's a good friend. He's in the crypto influencer chat. Some of you guys may hate the name. In the crypto influencer chat with me, I'm an admin there. We got 175 YouTubers. All your favorite YouTubers are in there. Zombie, Crow, Crypto Love, all those guys, Wendy. So he asked me to take a look at this, and I think it's pretty cool. Basically, what this is Crypto Canary. This is a place that's built to help people avoid scams, okay? Bitcoin for Beginners, their stuff is all educational, and you got to really love that in this environment. So Crypto Canary is basically a way that you can get insights into different projects and things like that for, by the community, and that's what's really important. So if you go on the homepage, it's cryptocanary.app, it's not .com, and you click, let's click Browse Coins. I haven't clicked that yet. This shows different coins. I mean, look here, guys. Hex, 1% confidence rating. I haven't actually dug into the coin side of things as much. Look, Bitcoin SV, 50%. I haven't dug into this. Let me make myself a little smaller. That's what she said. So you guys can see the background here. Okay. All right. So we're going to go back. We're going to look at Discover projects. We're just going to talk about this briefly. Then we're going to move on to Craig Wright. So if you look at the trending products here, it's got things like Library, which is a decentralized platform that I'm on now. We have MCO, Visa card, which I'm going to talk about because you guys know I'm big with them. Ledger, Twetch. Okay, Twetch is basically a social media powered by BSV, which is interesting. Shrimpy, we've talked about them. It's crypto trading and portfolio management. It's a portfolio balancing. So you can go here and you can see reviews from the community about these projects. So MCO Visa card, it's got 3 reviews, 100%. And you guys can make up your mind, whether you guys think that these are legit reviews or not. But what they do is they have reputation points, okay? So the higher the amount of reputation points someone has, the better their rating is going to be. It's going to be seen as more valuable, and people are going to have more confidence in that rating. So as you guys can see, MCO Visa card, it's great. I mean, there's really no downside to it that I can think of. If you do think of something that's terrible about it, let me know. Maybe you just like Bitcoin. You think MCO is terrible as a coin. You want to say I'm a maximalist, so no, don't use it. Of course, it's not perfect. It's not spending Bitcoin per se at the time of transaction. It converts over to US dollar just like almost every other card out there, and things like that. So there are some things about it that aren't perfect, but in my opinion, I love it, and it's got 3 great reviews here. So here's one. Crypto.com has amazing offers, 18% interest, staking with their native coin, reimbursement. You get reimbursed of Spotify, Netflix, all kinds of stuff. Tiny Dancer, he says he's got the second tier. He's got 500 MCO staked. He says their app is simple to use, easy to navigate as well, and things like that. So, and this is pretty much, I'm shilling MCO right now because you guys know I've got a link for that. It's at the top of the video description where you guys can get $50 free. I get $50 free, when you guys get the card. And just so you guys know, I don't know if you guys think I make a ton of money on referral links, but I definitely don't. Since I've been talking about MCO over the last 3 months, I have 8 referrals. So I made $400. So that's good. It definitely helps to support the channel, but I definitely don't want you guys to think I'm getting rich on stuff like this. So when you guys use that, you get $50 free. You get to support the channel. Link at the top of the video description. You guys can see. You might have to click off the live chat, but just come back to it later. Listen to what I'm saying now. That's what's important. So they have Ledger. You can click Ledger, and same thing. So there's a community-driven site, and that's one thing I really like about it. You're not getting a lot of bots. You're not getting a lot of shilling, and it's not projects per se. I mean, these are actual companies. So that is Crypto Canary. Definitely want to show that to you guys. I think it's pretty interesting. It's something I'm going to be keeping my eye out. So, all right, let's move on. Top story, we are going to be talking about Bitcoin SV. Is Craig Wright really Satoshi? I'm going to say spoiler alert. I'm going to say no. If you're a Bitcoin SV person, you may not like that. You may think he really is Satoshi. And I'm going to give my thoughts on how he could play into being Satoshi if we see something in the next couple of days. Okay? So basically what happened is Craig Wright filed a notice of compliance. Keys have arrived. So if you didn't know, there was something that he and Dave Kleiman had set up. Dave Kleiman, I think, is a possible candidate to be Satoshi. Not my top candidate by any stretch of the imagination, but I would put him probably about number 3 on my list. He has a very strange, mysterious death. If you ever want to look into that, it's super weird. I've talked about it on the channel before, but Dave Kleiman and Craig Wright set up this thing called the Tulip Trust, and the keys to the Bitcoin and the Satoshi fortune were supposed to be delivered on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day this year. So it just happened a few days ago, like 2 weeks ago or whatever. So the question is, did he really get it? Does he actually have, the Satoshi fortune in hand? And I would say probably not. I think that there's going to be some kind of complication that's going to, prevent him from getting these. But he was able to produce this court document. I mean, this isn't really producing anything. This is really just a notice for the court. Basically, what it says is that Dr. Craig Wright filed this notice of compliance with a court order dated January 10th. Specifically, he notifies the court that a third party, that's the courier that's supposed to deliver the keys, has provided the necessary information and key slice to unlock the encrypted file that has the keys in it. And Dr. Wright has produced a list of his Bitcoin holdings as ordered by the magistrate judge. Now, we don't actually see that list here, so that's what's very interesting. He says he has a list. We don't see it. So we don't know if this truly is billions of dollars. We don't know what it is. He's getting sued, so you would think he would want to kind of hide this stuff, but I don't know. Maybe he thinks if he can actually move the money and people think he's Satoshi, maybe he'll benefit more from that. But he did produce this notice of compliance, or the court produced it on his behalf. So here's the thing. If he does, in fact, move the Bitcoin, if it does get moved and he is able to produce the original private keys, in my opinion, what that means is that Dave Kleiman was, in fact, Satoshi. Craig Wright may have had something to do with the idea of Bitcoin. He might have worked on the team with it, but Dave Kleiman would have ultimately been the person with the cryptographic skill to produce Bitcoin, to produce the white paper. I still don't think that's going to happen. What I suspect is going to happen is that even though this notice was filed, we will see that there is going to be some kind of issue or problem with him being able to actually access the keys or to access the funds. I think that's what we'll see. Or either he'll say something like, I have it, but I'm not going to move it. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I think that's what we see. However, if he does move them, then I think that lends to the notion, and I've been saying this for almost 2 years now, that I think Dave Kleiman is a great candidate to be Satoshi. Like I said, I put him number 3 on my list behind Hal Finney. And actually, I used to have him number 2, but I really believe that the Paul Calder LaRue story that came out last year makes the most sense, fills in all of the holes, and I think he's a great candidate. He's actually in federal custody, which would be why he would have disappeared. It's a long story. That's for another video. But, is Bitcoin SV the real Bitcoin? That is certainly not, in my opinion. If, in fact, this is produced, this is moved, then we're going to have to start talking about, what do you think? Are you still going to support Bitcoin if Craig Wright created it? Which I think we'll see a lot of those arguments. I think no matter what we see here, I do not think there's any proof he can provide right now that he would be Satoshi, in my opinion. Maybe, I can't even think of a thing. I mean, maybe if one day we're able to, go back in time, virtual reality and see exactly what happened. Like maybe then I would believe it if he did it. But Bitcoin SV has flipping Bitcoin Cash. And so back to the fundamental analysis versus technical analysis argument. In my opinion, this was filed on the 10th. I think if we go back and we start looking at the charts, let's see. And what day was this filed? Dated January 14th. So dated today. Okay. But the court's order was dated on the 10th. So if we come look here at the chart, let's see what happened on the 10th. Let's see. Let's look at the 7-day chart. So look, guys, I mean, how in the world, I don't understand. I don't understand how in the world you cannot look at this chart It goes straight, boom. And look at this and say, this is purely chart driven. I mean, obviously this is not chart driven. Obviously this is news driven. People knew about this. Now is he pumping this himself? Very possibly, but whatever it is, this does not fit the chart. There's no such thing as a 200% move in a day or in a couple days time that a chart predicts. Like, that's just not a real thing. So, those are all my thoughts on Bitcoin SV. Now, let's move on talking about CME a little bit, and why this possibly, and guys, I know you guys are chatting in here. Usually I hit every single comment, but I'm really wanting to get through the news, and then we'll do a little talking at the end. So we have CME options doubled back's volume on its first day. Is this significant? I'm not really sure, but I think that this probably had something to do with us pumping today. Maybe not, maybe so. But I certainly think the institutional investments are playing a huge role. Now, I did think that this was very interesting. Well, this is one thing I want to say. Usually what we've seen with news like this, whenever there's positive institutional investing news, backed launches, the first futures contracts launched, options launched, whenever we see this, we see a negative impact on the market almost immediately. The day that backed launch that's the day when we straight dropped. We dropped huge that day. I know CryptoFace did a video where like he wrote a short all the way down from like 10,000 all the way down to 7,000, whatever it was. And people were going crazy. He predicted it because when institutional investing news comes out, the price drops. Why does that happen? Well, probably because it's the institutional investor whales. They're trying to push the price down to buy more. I mean, that's the only reason I can think. But there will come a day, and I believe it will be soon. And maybe it's today. Maybe it's starting now. I'm not trying to give you hopium, but if you look at the happening precedent in the past and you look today and what has happened, we could start seeing some stuff line up. There will be a day when the institutional investors push the price up instead of down. When they are done accumulating, the price will go up. It will not go down. Now, of course, we'll see moves from day to day. We always see that Bitcoin has a lot of volatility, but we will finally see that parabolic uptrend, that we've all been waiting for years now at this point. Like I was really thinking about today, we're in 2020. Most people in crypto that are interested got involved in 2017. All of those people that got in from 2017, like it's been 3 years now. I mean, technically it's been a shade over 2 years. But in terms of calendar years, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020 now. We're on to the third year at this point. And so at some point, this price is going to go up, guys. I think we all agree with that. You wouldn't be one of the 52 people watching this video right now if you did not believe that eventually the price of Bitcoin, or at least the crypto markets in general, or a specific coin, is going to go up. So could this be when we finally start getting institutional investing news and it pushes the price up instead of down? I don't know. I certainly hope so. But I will say that there was another story today, which I'm not really covering in detail. I don't have it listed, but another story involving a new analyst coming out and saying that this is finally the year that the ETF will get approved. I know everybody's sick of hearing about the ETF, but if all of a sudden the price starts going up, the institutional people are ready to, this is one thing you have to remember, and you may not know. The CFTC and the SEC, it has been said that, I believe it's specifically, I think it's both, that CME and CBOE control those. You may not know this. It may be a little conspiratorial for you, but they have their hands in so much stuff in so many people's pockets that maybe, just maybe, they're actually the ones that were keeping the ETFs from getting approved. And I don't know, if the price starts going up, maybe then they want them to be approved. I think we all understand that there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than we can see on the surface. To what level does it rise to? I don't know. I don't like to live in that conspiracy world for the most part, just because if we don't know, we don't know. So what's really the difference? You can be skeptical, but definitely I think when you live in the world of conspiracies, and it's so easy to do on YouTube, that your mind just starts running rampant. I think you got to take some things at face value. But could we see an ETF approved this year? Would this finally be when we would see the price go up, or at least to coincide with that? I think possibly so. I'm not going to say for sure. You're never going to see me say that I believe an ETF is going to get approved. We got tricked by that way too many times. So here we go. We got rapper Akon kicks off construction for world's first crypto city. Senegal has given the green light to build Akon City, a 2,000-acre metropolis that will trade exclusively in a digital currency called Akon. It's going to be a 10-year building process for them to build this city. They're kicking it off. There's Akon. I can't even think of any of his songs right now. What are Akon songs? I know them all pretty much. I just can't think of them right now. God, what was that? Well, I think he was in a Gwen Stefani song one time. I know he did. He was on a Notorious B.I.G. song, obviously published posthumously. I can't think of, what was the name of that song that had that real quirky tune? You guys remember that one? I just had sex. Yeah, Locked Up. There it is, Locked Up. Angel, yeah, there you go. Yeah, you guys got some right there. You guys definitely got some right there. Yeah, Locked Up. I've been locked up. Yeah, he's locked up for pushing an ICO, right? I don't know if they're having an ICO for this, but it's interesting, guys. I mean, a lot of people keep looking around the world and saying like, okay, what is the hotbed of cryptocurrency adoption going to be? We think it's South America. We think it's Asia, Southeastern Asia. We think it's all of these different places. We think it's Malta. Where's it going to be? A lot of people think Africa makes a lot of sense due to just the economic structure that a lot of their country, or lack of economic structure, a lot of their countries have, the amount of unbanked people. So could we see this actually be a thing? I don't know. We'll just have to see. I think it is very interesting, though. Last story, and then we'll start chatting it up. Mark Zuckerberg reveals Facebook's digital commerce 2030 vision, ignores Libra. Now, you guys, this is on bitboycrypto.com. I haven't covered any of our stories on here anytime lately, but we are writing stories every single day about crypto here on bitboycrypto.com. So make sure you guys check it out. We try to have like some unique stories there that you're not getting on the bigger channels and things like that. So this is interesting. So they had they revealed Facebook's digital commerce 2030 vision. And you know what was not present? I'll give you one hint. It's an astrology sign. Libra. I think that's an astrology sign. Gemini. Libra. So nowhere listed in their plan for digital commerce did Libra get brought up. Now, obviously, there's virtually no support for it. And, this headline really says it all right here. There's near zero support. No one in the crypto community supports it. No one on Facebook supports cryptocurrency. Nobody in the U.S. government, U.S. regulation supports it. None of the other tech companies support Facebook doing this. Literally, if Facebook does push forward on Libra and Calibra, which is their wallet and their foundation, they're going to have to go it alone. So, is this good for crypto? In the long term, I would say definitely yes. In the short term, we definitely were getting a lot of interest, a lot of eyeballs to our space based on everything that was going on in Washington with all the Senate hearings, the Congress hearings, and things like that. So I think we all would love for Libra to fail and not be a thing. And I think that is definitely something that is looking like is going to happen. So, all right, guys, that is the news for the day. I'm going to try to catch up here on some comments. We did pass 14,000 subscribers. Thank you, Bit Squad. Thank you to everyone. I hope you guys have noticed. I've been trying to work harder on my videos lately, editing and things like that. Also, you guys are also, how many times can I say that? Also remember that I do have a second YouTube channel. I haven't made a video since last week there. It is called Got Stats. We're almost up to 300 members now. So if you guys could head on over there and subscribe, that would be great. It's just kind of cool, videos that are showing different kinds of charts. I made one that was like a narrated kind of documentary video about 10 irrelevant athletes, things like that. So it's not crypto related at all. So I think we all at some time need a break. So make sure you guys subscribe to that channel. Even if you're not going to watch the videos, just help support me. I would appreciate it. So, okay. And also make sure you follow me on TikTok. I've got 45,000 followers there now. Okay, let's check it out. Lots of selling pressure kept us under 9K. Yes, there has been a lot of selling pressure. I mean, a lot of people are wanting to take profits. I mean, at this point, I mean, I'm tempted to do it, but I'm not going to because I don't really care about the day-to-day price of Bitcoin anymore. I've really just gone off the idea of caring about where Bitcoin is until it hits all-time highs. It's going to hit it when it hits it. If not, then I guess we were all crazy to believe in this big Ponzi and let's just all go home, So I'm not selling, but there's definitely a lot of people giving advice to people to sell. You have other people saying no, this is a perfect time. We could go parabolic. We'll see. Oh, well, there you go. Thank you for subscribing. I'm assuming you did. What is up? Luis Santini, he's saying XRP is up. Akon saw a problem and he's helping solving it. That is cool. Let's see. 45,000 followers on TikTok and 14K here. Perfect example of how Earth's priorities are flawed. I would say that probably is, that's not true. The thing is the reason why it's so much easier, and this is why Gary Vee says that it's like buying real estate, getting big on TikTok right now. I could do a whole video to explain to you guys why I believe TikTok is going to be, if not the biggest app in the world, it's going to be very close to it. There has never in the history of mankind been an app that is more addicting and is more, it's also, young kids are getting on it too. So you're getting the younger generation. It's hard to put down. I know several people who said they deleted it because they couldn't stop watching it. And it really is the progression. I said I'm not making this video now, but is the progression of the lack of human attention. Okay. There's a reason why you're watching YouTube right now and you're not watching, what time is it? It's 8 o'clock. There's a reason why you're not watching NBC at 8 p.m. for whatever sitcom or whatever drama show they have on there. Because it's just better it's easier to watch things that you can come in and out of instead of having to sit through 30 minutes of a TV show. That's why you guys wait until shows are over and then go binge them instead of watching as they're coming, because our attention span is just not the same as it used to be. Evolution, call it whatever, call it, destruction of our brains by all the content that we consume, even though a lot of it's educational, call it whatever. But the fact is human attention is getting less and less. That is why people are watching YouTube videos. That's why YouTubers love videos that are over 10 minutes because you get an extra ad if you're monetized. But viewers want to watch videos that are 4 to 6 minutes. That's what people want to watch. They don't want to watch 30-minute videos. TikTok is that on steroids. You can just scroll through and binge as many as you want. It's never ending. And I believe it is going to be absolutely huge. And I believe we're going to see more of a focus on adults and education. Tutorials. I think all of that stuff is going to start moving, because when you watch a tutorial on YouTube, do you want to watch a 14-minute tutorial and then you're going to have 1 minute of that you actually find useful? You're going to skim through and try to find that 1 minute. And I think we're going to see a lot of YouTube channels start moving over to platforms, if it's not TikTok, something similar, to where you can break up your videos where people don't have to watch the whole thing. And that's my personal opinion about it. So, but I think that, no, my content is not crypto there right now. I kind of have a Trojan horse plan with TikTok. Right now, I'm talking a lot of sports. I talk mostly sports there. I have done some crypto videos, but most of the time I'm giving sports facts, interesting stuff revolving around sports. But eventually, when my following is big enough, I got millions of followers, then at that point, I'm going to Trojan horse crypto in. I've already got plans for a Bitcoin video I'm going to do on there very soon. And things like that. But, the thing about TikTok is right now over there is, and I'm not making cringy dance videos over there. I think a lot of people think that's all that is there. Cringy dance videos or, girl cheerleaders, whatever, you think it is. There's adult content over there as well. Educational content over there as well. On YouTube, there's an oversaturation of content. There's 6,000 hours uploaded every minute to YouTube. Whatever it is, it's insane how much content is uploaded to YouTube. So there's a supply and demand problem. There's more content on YouTube than people can consume. On TikTok, there's way more consumers than there is content. So until that equilibrium gets found, it's going to be easy to grow there. It's like getting in on Instagram the first year it was open. So if you're interested in growing a brand or doing content, I definitely suggest having a TikTok for 100% sure. And one day you'll make a video and it'll blow up and you'll be like, wow, this is actually pretty easy. So Okay. If Craig Wright has the Bitcoin keys, wouldn't he dump Bitcoin for BSV? That's a good question. He certainly could do that. But if he did that, then I'd have to think of the dynamics of that, how that would actually affect his fortune. Like, would he sell all the Bitcoin and then buy a BSV with that money, and that would dump the price? Well, I will tell you this: if he has access to 1 million coins, then we're in big trouble. That's what I'll say on it, regardless of whether he does that now or eventually. One of the beautiful things about the supply of Bitcoin has been, like, over time, I'd say it's beautiful. I mean, in a utopian world, it's beautiful that million Bitcoin will never be touched. So actually, the total supply is 20 million, not 21 million. And that increases the price of every single Bitcoin out there. So hopefully that won't happen. But we do kind of live on the edge of that, unfortunately. And, if it never gets moved, like, we always kind of have to have that fear. If it is going to happen, it might as well go ahead and happen soon so we can just move on from it. But I don't think that he has... I don't think he has it. So we'll see. What is TikTok? It is an app. You guys can find it. TikTok. Human attention spans are 8 seconds. That's exactly right. I mean, that's exactly right. What was the question? You know what I'm saying? So that's legit. Like, we've all been doing it. Like, we can't remember what we were doing 6 seconds ago. Like, we go to the internet and we are determined to find something, and you're scrolling through your phone looking for the app that you were looking for to do the thing that you thought about doing, and you can't find the app because you can't remember what you were doing. You can't remember what you were looking for. That happens in 8 seconds. So TikTok, I actually make closer to 1 minute videos usually on TikTok, so it's a little bit longer. It probably affects me. Let's see. Commercials. Yeah, everybody thinks commercials are a joke. Let me see here. Bitcoin Adidas. Yeah, that's right. My plan is to Trojan horse him. I mean, I started with crypto content. That's actually what I started. If you go to my TikTok account and go to the very beginning, I had some pretty funny crypto videos. I thought they were funny anyways. They didn't get any views. I didn't get any views. When I really first started getting views were on kind of comedy videos, like kind of surprising twists at the end. Like, I did one where I said there was a security camera in my house in the shower. I was like, we found it. And I was like, is this a camera? And I opened the shower door, and it's like a tripod camera, like sitting in the middle of the shower. Like, do you guys think this is a camera? People thought that was really funny. It got millions of views. I made one that was like talking about SeaWorld being a prison, which was just a joke, basically. Like, I'm not a huge fan of SeaWorld, but I'm also not like people that own SeaWorld are the worst people in the world. I think there's probably a gray area there. I think there's some good stuff they do, and then I think there's definitely some bad stuff that's been done there. I think everyone would agree. So I made a little video about that where I showed the sign of SeaWorld, and I said, I've never been this close to a prison, like on a caption. And people thought that was insane. Like, that got like 2.5 million views on it. So I started trying to figure it out, and then eventually I figured, like, you got to give the people what they want. And it's also a good opportunity for me to try to expand what I'm doing other than just crypto, because in the future, I think it's just good to be on all the platforms that you can be on. And it's a good way for me, once Bitcoin goes to all-time highs and interest is back, that's a good way for me to pull normies in, pull the no-coiners in. Definitely going to be doing more videos over there. But I tell you, the younger generation is not as big on Bitcoin as we thought they were. I think if you go look at some crypto content that is on TikTok, the younger generation, whether they've heard it from their parents or from their teachers or whatever, a lot of people think it's a scam. They believe crypto is a scam, blockchain is a scam. A lot of people think that is. I was not expecting that from that younger generation. Can I talk about crypto and NBA contracts and accepting payments in soccer? You're saying for the channel? That's definitely good. That's great because actually, my stadium here, Atlanta Mercedes-Benz Stadium, is it's the first stadium in America to go cashless. Definitely, there's a future in crypto and sports. I believe it's some cool stuff to start talking about. Jeffrey G, what is up? Morning, lads. The entire market would tank. Bitcoin drops. There goes the built-in support. Digital gold holds. I don't think he's legit. I don't think it'll happen. Michael, what is up? Michael Milbrat in the chat. Let's see. It's hell being a teacher now? Yeah, I hear that. Oh, the shower video is hilarious. You like that? That was good. I made a couple of those shower videos. That sounded weird. Somebody don't cut that and meme it. I made a couple of videos talking about like stuff in my shower. Then another time, like I was like, I said we think he removed the camera, and then I opened the shower door, and like my youngest child was there dressed in a Buzz Lightyear suit. That was pretty funny. I thought I really like doing funny stuff. I know I'm not nearly as funny as I think I am. I don't think, but I do enjoy comedy and things like that. So it's another outlet for me. But I will never dress up like a woman for comedy, or I will not. I'm trying to lose weight. I will not make fun of myself being fat in comedy either. I have dignity. The stadium is cashless. They accept only debit cards and credit card transactions and Apple Pay. I mean, maybe Samsung Pay too. I don't have Samsung. Who does? Maybe some of you. I actually doing one of my videos for my Got Stats channel. I discovered that only like 11% of people have iPhones. I thought that was crazy. I thought it was like 50-50. But the thing is they actually have in my stadium a place where you can use your cash, like it's a reverse ATM. You put your cash in and it gives you a debit card, like a temporary debit card that you can use at the stadium that's reloadable. So I don't like it at all. And we, Quinn and I, when we were doing our Decentralized America tour and we were doing our street videos, we just kind of ran out of ideas for doing those now. If you guys have a great idea, drop it, or tell me in another video comment, and maybe I'll do it. But what we found is that the stadium is a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like the fact that the government is tracking every single transaction. And one interesting thing some younger girls said, they were probably 17, 18, 19 years old, maybe 21. I don't know. They all look like they're teenagers to me now that I'm so old. They're whippersnappers. But they said, they got a lot of friends that don't have bank accounts. What are they going to do? Well, you bring the cash, you get the reverse card. But it's kind of like that slippery slope. Like, okay, that's today. How long is it going to be before that option's removed? And you have to have a bank account, have to have a debit card, have to have all your transactions tracked. And that's why I think it's really good. We're kind of in this moment of history where cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is becoming more popular. Well, I don't know if it's becoming more popular, but the idea of it to us, it makes a lot of sense for where we're at in history. I think people will look back and see like if cryptocurrency does not take hold and we're not able to use blockchain and decentralization to weaken the power of the banks. Will we get rid of them? Probably not. To weaken the powers of banks and to weaken the surveillance abilities of our governments, and even more so than our government's corporations, we're going to be in for a very rough time in the future. If this is not the moment in history where this begins and we start this transition, then we are all going to be prisoners on our own planet in 100 years from now. So, yeah. So that's what's going on, guys. Thank you guys, everybody, for joining. I'm probably going to get back to my show. I'm watching True Detective. You guys, if you want to sign up for crypto.com, make sure you guys do that in the video description. I got a link. I like the card. Here's what it looks like. I hope you're going to be able to see it. This is my crypto.com card. The number's on the back. I'm not going to show it to you because I know that you guys will steal everything from me because you guys are hackers like that. And that's a good thing about Crypto Canary we were talking about earlier, is the fact that there are some places where you can go to kind of figure out what's scams and what's not. There's a lot of stuff right now on YouTube. If you guys don't know, there's a huge amount of people live streaming, mimicking other people's accounts, and mimicking the Ethereum YouTube channel, which I don't even know if they have a real one, putting an old interview of Vitalik and making it be like it's some kind of, ETH fest, like send an ETH, we'll send it back to you. It's crazy how many people fall for this, but it's happening everywhere. I would not be surprised if, maybe I'm overvaluing my presence as a YouTube channel, but I would not be surprised if in the future there's a BitBoy crypto channel that looks just like mine that someone's live streaming from, and it's someone just trying to steal money. We saw one from John McAfee. It wasn't really John McAfee. Someone pretending to be John McAfee imposter doing a live stream trying to get people to send in crypto. So you guys got to be careful. I think that's one reason why something like Crypto Canary that's, community reviewed stuff is definitely good. So, all right, guys, that is all I got for today. You guys, thank you so much for everything. The channel is growing. I feel like we got a lot of momentum, and it's all thanks to you guys, the Bit Squad. I love each and every one of you guys. Have a blessed day, blessed night. BitBoy out.